explosions. RRIP Middle East. Apart? Iran ends talks right now. As you watch this, fire is spreading across Saudi Arabia's most critical energy sites. And while the smoke is still rising, Iran has just slammed the door shut. No negotiations, no talks, no compensation, nothing. Fighter jets are already in the air. Israel is weighing a move it hasn't made alone in this entire war. And somewhere, quietly, foreign specialists are walking back into Iran's nuclear program. Every single piece you're about to see is connected. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why the world is holding its breath right now. Stay with us. Welcome, everyone, back to the siege war. Now, before we go any further, I want to ask you something, and I mean this sincerely. If you're someone who's lived long enough to remember when the news actually took its time to get the story right, when you had to wait for the evening broadcast to know what happened in the world that day, then you already know how rare it is to find a place that lays things out calmly, carefully, without all the noise. That's what we try to do here. So if this channel has earned even a small piece of your trust, would you consider hitting that subscribe button? It costs you nothing, but it means everything to a small channel trying to do this the right way. And I'd love to know, where in the world are you watching from today? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. Now, let's get into it. It happened in the early hours of August 9th. Loud explosions shook Saudi Arabia's eastern industrial city of Jubail. Fires broke out. Thick black smoke rose into the sky. Reports say gas facilities in the region were directly targeted. Satellite monitoring systems detected an unusual fire burning at Saudi Aramco's Berry gas plant. This is not a small facility. It is one of the kingdom's major energy sites. Sources point to the Houthis, backed by Iran, as the ones behind the strike. This is not the first time. Saudi Arabia's oil infrastructure has been hit before. But this attack, analysts say, is different. It is bigger, it is bolder. The Berry gas plant sits just north of Bahrain, close to shipping lanes, close to global trade routes. More images are surfacing now, showing smoke still rising hours after the first blast. In Yemen, the Houthis also struck the Mocha International Port. Another plume of smoke, another warning sign. The world is now watching two burning points on the map. Why does this matter so much? Because Saudi Arabia's oil industry is not just important to the region, it is one of the most valuable assets on the entire planet. If this oil infrastructure goes offline, even for a short time, the effect will not stay local. Oil prices could rise sharply. Fuel costs could climb. Markets everywhere could feel the shock. That is why protecting these facilities has become urgent. The United States responded quickly. Fighter jets were sent into the skies over Iraq and Baghdad. Their mission? Track down drones. Hunt the militia groups believed to be behind these attacks. Analysts say Saudi Arabia may not stay silent for long. They point to a recent pattern. Weeks earlier, Saudi Arabia had joined forces with the United States to strike Iran-backed militias inside Iraq. Could that happen again? Many believe it could. There's also a geography lesson hidden in this story. The site that was hit lies just 256 miles from the Iraqi border. Close enough for Iran-backed militias to strike with speed and precision. This raises a serious question. Was this attack random, or was it carefully planned? Iran continues to push its allied groups into action across the region. Whether directly ordered or simply encouraged, the outcome is the same. Critical infrastructure is under threat. And as the fires continue to burn in Jubail, one thing becomes clear. This is no longer a distant conflict. This is a direct hit on the artery that fuels much of the global economy. The question now is not just about what happened, it is about what comes next. As far as Tehran is concerned, the conversation is over. Iran's foreign ministry confirmed it publicly. There is no direct contact with Washington. None. Every single message passes through a third party. Nothing is exchanged face to face. No phone calls, no meetings, no direct line at all. And before anything can restart, Iran has set its terms. Washington must first end what Tehran calls breaches of an earlier agreement. On top of that, Iran wants payment for the damage those alleged breaches caused. Until both demands are satisfied, Tehran says there is simply nothing more to talk about. It's a firm position. Some observers see it as Iran negotiating from a place of strength. Tehran seems convinced it now has the upper hand. Whether that confidence is justified is another matter entirely. But the message being sent is unmistakable. Not every diplomatic door is shut, though. While Saudi Arabia counts the damage, another storm is building in the skies above Iraq. United States fighter jets are scrambling. Their target, drones launched by Iran-backed militias. The mission is clear. Stop these weapons before they reach more oil fields, before they reach more cities. But something bigger is happening behind the scenes. According to Israel's Channel 13, the Israeli Defense Force is preparing for a serious decision. They may resume strikes against Iran completely on their own, without American approval, without American support. This would mark a major shift in the war. For months, Israel and the United States have worked closely together in this conflict. Now, reports suggest Israel may be ready to act alone. But here's the problem, a very serious problem. Israel depends heavily on the United States, not just for weapons, but for something far more critical: long-range logistics, refueling support, and most importantly, air defense. Analysts have been raising concerns about this for weeks. Israel's advanced interceptor stockpile, the systems used to knock missiles out of the sky, is running low. Reports suggest they are down to their last supply of long-range interceptors. This is not a small detail. This is the heart of the issue. If Israel strikes Iran alone, Iran will strike back. That much is almost certain. And when those missiles come flying toward Israel, who will stop them? The United States may be the only country on Earth capable of shooting them all down. Which means, even if Washington chooses to stay out of a new strike, it may not have a choice once the retaliation begins. This creates a dangerous chain reaction. One move by Israel could pull the United States straight back into direct combat with Iran. For this reason, many analysts urge caution. Some believe an independent Israeli strike is unlikely, at least for now. Without proper air defense backup, the risks are simply too high. Still, the possibility remains on the table, and that alone is enough to raise alarms across the region. Military planners in Washington are watching closely. So are officials in Tel Aviv. So is Tehran. Every side understands the stakes. One miscalculation, one unexpected strike, and this simmering conflict could explode into something far larger. For now, the fighter jets continue their patrols. The drones continue their searches. And the question hanging over the entire region remains unanswered. Will Israel go it alone? Or will caution win out, at least for a little longer? While the world watches the battlefield, another mystery continues to unfold quietly in the background. A new video surfaced recently, claiming to show Iran's supreme leader alive and well. But fact-checkers moved quickly. They found the footage was not new at all. The same classroom video had already been broadcast months earlier, back in March. This raises the same question that has followed this story for weeks now. Is he alive? Is he seriously injured? Or has something more serious been hidden from public view? No one outside Iran's inner circle knows for certain, and Tehran has offered no clear answers. At the same time, a separate incident is drawing international attention. The United Arab Emirates confirmed that one of its ships was struck. The attack is being linked to Iran. This adds a new layer to the conflict. It shows the danger is no longer confined to just 2 or 3 countries. Neighboring nations, even those not directly part of the fighting, are now being pulled into the danger zone. Back in Washington, a different kind of pressure is building, this time inside American defense industries. The Pentagon has given weapons manufacturers a strict deadline: 21 days. Their job? Find ways to speed up production, increase output, rebuild stockpiles fast. Why the urgency? The numbers explain it clearly. More than 850 Tomahawk missiles have been used since the war intensified. Over 1,000 Patriot interceptors. More than 1,300 tactical ballistic missiles. These are staggering figures for such a short period of fighting. It shows how quickly modern warfare can drain even the most powerful military stockpiles on Earth. Meanwhile, on the other side of this conflict, a different kind of buildup is happening. Russian nuclear specialists are reportedly returning to Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant. Sources say the number has grown steadily. More experts are expected to arrive by autumn. This detail matters. It shows that despite the fighting, technical cooperation between Iran and Russia continues without pause. And it is not only Russia. Reports suggest specialists from other nations are also quietly entering Iran. Back on the ground, Iraqi security forces intercepted a militia cell recently. They seized a dozen Iranian-made drones believed to be prepared for strikes on Saudi Arabia. This shows the network behind these attacks stretches far beyond any single country's borders. So where does this leave the region tonight? Explosions still burning in Saudi Arabia, fighter jets patrolling contested skies, diplomatic talks completely frozen, a leader whose fate remains unknown, a military stockpile running dangerously low, and foreign powers quietly expanding their presence inside Iran. Every thread in this story connects to the next. And as these pieces continue to move, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The Middle East is not simply facing another crisis. It may be standing at the edge of something far bigger than anyone has been willing to admit.